Hey everyone, this is Beth Barling, and I am hopping in here to talk a little bit about the month of June, to talk about a little bit about our new topic of playfulness. So, one of the things I wanted to hop in here and talk about was making availability for playfulness. So, I'm just checking to make sure I'm in the right space. So we're making availability for playfulness. We're making availability for that spontaneity, that joy in life, those pieces that aren't on our to-do list per se, and probably because of that spontaneous and loving energy of being playful, um, probably shouldn't be on our playfulness. But I wanted to talk about the balance of really allowing and receiving playfulness into our lives. And the balance of playfulness and joy is sort of creating that structure, that support, that safety and security in our daily lives to allow for playfulness and joy to come in, that fun, that relaxation, peace. And one of the ways we can do that is by having a daily practice, by having a morning practice. And I know we've talked about this before, but I always think it's a great idea to go over morning practices again, to just go over the different kind of things that we can do in the morning to sort of cultivate and intentionally create our days. So how does this play into playfulness? There's the balance piece. And of course, there's the balance piece of our physical lives. So of course, we're working, we're paying bills, we're doing all these physical things to allow for the space for playfulness. And that's fine. We're always working, we're always doing those things. We're always cultivating we're paying bills, making bills, those kinds of things. But a morning practice is creating safety, stability, security, and moving through processes using our energetic component, using our emotional component and our spiritual components. So it's taking the wholeness of us. A morning practice allows us to really cultivate that balance and allow for playfulness with all of our different bodies. So I'll go over the different ways that a morning practice can help so that makes more sense. So a morning practice could just be breath. So it could just be breath work. It could just be waking up in the morning and taking 10 deep breaths. It could be as formal as sitting at an altar and taking 10, doing Nadi Shodhana or doing some really mindful diaphragmatic breathing, or it could just be a matter of laying in bed and intentionally taking 10 deep breaths, maybe even holding the inhale and releasing the exhale. So just starting off our day by moving into proper breath work, breathing techniques, and just remembering the importance of breath. So the importance of breath, when we inhale, we're receiving new energy, fresh prana, fresh chi, spiritus. We're receiving messages from the divine. We're receiving new clear messages from our higher self. And our exhale is releasing all of those things as well, all of the same things. So we're releasing used up chi, prana, spiritus, messages, all the things that we've already processed. So we're receiving the new. It's a new morning. It's a new day. We're asking for newness to come in. And we're really releasing the stuff intentionally and mindfully that we no longer need. A morning practice is really magical and important because this is when we're still in that liminal state. So there's two really magical times of our day. And that is when we move from the sleep state to the waking state, and when we move from the waking state to the sleep state. Both times we're in this liminal magical space. And it's a space where we can really manifest, where we're still sort of in both worlds. We're straddling both energies. And as we move from sleep, our morning practice is to cultivate and set up the day, mindfully set our mindset and our energetic landscape for the day. And at night, and I don't want to talk too long, but there's evening practices to move us from the day and unwinding and releasing things and bring us into that liminal, that sleep state. So what kind of energy do we want to bring into our dreams and sleep state and our travel state? That's what we do at night. And what we're doing in the morning is what we want to bring into our day. And for us, we want to bring playfulness and joy into our day, especially during these gorgeous summer days. So breath is really important. Journaling. A couple of different ways you can journal. And I'm going over a lot of different things. Just remember that you don't need to do all of these things. As a matter of fact, doing all of these things would really take away from that idea of playfulness and joy. We're just doing a couple of things every day to sort of set the mindset, set the landscape and availability for playfulness. So morning journaling, there's a lot of different ways we can journal, but in the morning I really like a gratitude journal, which is where we take our energy and we really I guess, what's the word? We increase our frequency, because anything that's happening to us, there's always an element of victimhood and hurt and pain, and there's always that element of gratitude and blessings and lessons. So a gratitude journal is about really putting us in that energetic mindset where we are appreciative, we're thankful, we're grateful, we're changing our energetic mindset so that we move into the day in a space of content, in a space of gratitude, which is a much higher frequency than just jumping into the day and having any energy that's sitting in our chests and our hearts and our minds moving into the day with us and not being processed as something to be grateful for. Because we can find gratitude in everything. It's an energy switch, it's a choice, and it's a way to sort of increase our own frequency so that we're manifesting and calling in higher frequency things, including the opportunity to be playful. Moving the body. So waking the body up, moving the body, intentionally moving the body. I don't think intentional was the word I was using. It's intuitive movement of the body. You want to just sort of feel into our bodies and see what our bodies need. A yoga class is always a beautiful way to do this, because yoga is designed to move the body in accordance with our chakras, in accordance with our emotions and feelings. So just maybe doing some yoga in the morning, whether you're doing a class or you're doing 10 minutes by yourself, moving the body, using what we're learning in yoga communities and yoga circles, allows us to open up different pieces of ourselves. So maybe if your hips are tight, this is moving intuitively. If my hips are tight, well, yoga tells me I could be holding a lot of emotions in here. I could be holding a lot of victimhood in here. My creativity may be stinted because this is our sacral chakra area. So just witnessing where the body needs to be stretched and moved and being aware of that, letting our body give us messages. Dancing is a really great way of doing this. One of the things I love to do recently is just sort of dance around the house and move as my body wants to move. I'm not doing this to put on a show or be on display. This is all about my body just moving the way it wants to move and allowing that. And in a sense, that in itself is an energy of playfulness. So we talked about moving the body. Another journaling thing I did forget to mention was an intention statement. So we can set our mindset into this gratitude place with journaling, but we can also set an intention for the day. Decide what our day is going to be like. So as somebody who has endless to-do lists, setting an intention statement for the day is really important for me. So my endless to-do list with all the things I need to get done, this isn't today's list, this is this year's list. And it's really important to make this physical distinction. So all of these items are sort of hovering in my energetic field. And when I put things on paper, I'm taking them into the physical world. So when I make a daily intention statement, this is about what I'm going to get done today. This is all I need to get done today. That way, when I'm looking at this huge, gigantic list, I'm not thinking, I'm a complete failure. I didn't get any of this stuff done. I have so much stuff to get done. And that's that energy that magnetizes more things to get done to us. So setting an intention for the day could just be, these are the 2 videos I need to get done. This is what I need to get done for my home life. This is what I need to get done for, I would like to be mindful and present, whatever your intention is for the day. It can be a variety of things. It can just say, I need to be mindful. I want to be considerate of this person's feelings. I want, I have a goal of communicating with this person, to put something to bed. It could be a million different things, but just setting an intention for the day, setting an intention of who you want to be today, asking your higher self to sort of guide you and let you know, or just even saying, I allow the highest good for all to come of this conversation, to come of this moment, to come of this day. So those are different ways we can set an intention statement. For me, by setting an intention statement and listing the things I want to get done today, it really allows me to have that space and time for playfulness and not feel guilty about it. And this is huge for me. So if I have this huge to-do list and I get these 4 things done and I, continue to, bang things out on this to-do list, I'm going to burn out. I'm going to not be able to get, number one, to anything playful because I'll be doing all of my crazy to-do list things. And I'm going to burn out over time so that I'm not going to be able to keep up this momentum of just getting things done as they need to be done and in the right time, in the right place, in the right energy. So just doing what I intend to do for today, mindfully and consciously deciding what needs to get done for today, creates that availability and space for playfulness to be in my life. So that's another way we can use journaling and, part of our morning practice for that. You can also, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, a lot of different things you can do in the morning. I'm trying to stay focused on the things that bring us playfulness. Clearing work. So one of the things I do is emotional clearing, and there's a lot of different ways to process emotional clearing our chakras, clearing emotions, clearing situations, clearing things that we don't believe in, clearing things that we have trouble processing. But emotional clearing is a tool that you can actually do on your own as well. If we want to clear the idea that in order to be successful, I have to work all the time. There's different ways of saying you don't have to work all the time to be successful. And working all the time doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Like, there's a lot of different ways to sort of break the conditioning of these beliefs that society and ancestral lineage have put into our lives. So if you are somebody who does know how to do emotional clearing, this is a great way for you guys to jump, this is a great thing to bring into your morning practice. If you don't know, just reach out. We have videos that we can send you about how to do emotional clearing on your own. Let's see, what else? One of the ones I loved was infusing your morning breakfast, making your morning a ritual. So a lot of these pieces can be, we can be at our altar, and this can be this gorgeous, profound meditative ceremony where we're doing mala for an hour, we're doing, these different pieces. But breakfast, cutting cord. Hey, Stephanie, good morning. So morning ritual can be this beautiful experience of just infusing your morning with magic. So maybe what you love to do in the morning, and this is something I love to do in the morning, I like to get up and get coffee. I have tried to be much more magical and much more yogi about the whole thing and get up and meditate and sit at my altar. But that's not what gets me out of bed. What gets me out of bed is, and I drink decaf, so it's not a caffeine addiction, it's this ceremony and ritual of getting up and drinking my pumpkin spice coffee with almond milk. It's what gets me out of bed, and it's what moves me. And if I get out of bed with that idea that I'm going to have my coffee, then I can move into the different pieces of that higher realm meditation stuff. But how do we make this magical, and how do we make this a ritual? Well, we can infuse our coffee. So we've talked in here before about water. We're 70% water, and water will actually respond to prayer, and water responds to good feelings, and water has its own energy. And if we are 70% water, then it is just that 70% alone. We know that we can cultivate whatever energy we want by praying over the different water that we're drinking, etc. So when I make my morning coffee, it's now a ritual. I bless the coffee. I infuse it with the rose quartz ray of the Divine Mother's love. I'll infuse it with the white light baptismal blessing, piercing the heart of all darkness. I'll infuse it with the aquamarine ray for courage, for rebirth, for purpose. There's all different ways that we can bless and infuse our morning beverage with love, with good intentions, and just allow that drinking to be sort of a ritual. I think I have to grab my charger. Just one second. So that is one thing I love doing, is infusing my coffee with love and with prayers and with good intentions. And that's something you can actually do throughout the day as well. Another thing we can do in the morning is to greet the sun. So we can just go out and greet the sun. We can say good morning to the sun. We can feel that warmth and that energy and allow that liminal state to naturally connect it to the earth, transition towards, waking up and getting out of bed and starting our day. And in this moment, we can just decide to embrace the beauty of this world, and that allows us to be a little bit more playful. Connecting with the magical community. So this was something I read recently, something we should do in the morning. Connecting with the magical community could be a lot of things. It could be listening to a podcast. It could be listening to a meditation. It could be listening to somebody speak. These little videos that we make in the Soul Magic Garden. It could be listening to Anne Marie's energy report. There's a lot of different ways we can connect with our community. If you have a community, a magical community that you work with, you can reach out to them. You can message. In the Soul Magic Garden, in any of these communities, you can actually jump in here and just say good morning to everyone and just feel part of a magical community and sort of engage in that energetic container. Another way you can connect with a magical community is to actually connect with your plants, to connect with Mama Earth, to connect with the outside world. So if you're outside greeting the sun, you're already connecting with, you're already switching from that lunar liminal state into this sun, masculine, awake, active time of day. So there's so much more outside that the world resonates and shows us how to live. So we're sort of moving in the same cycles of Mama Earth. There's a whole lot to this. But just connecting with our plants and connecting with the grass and walking in the grass. And of course, if that's, if you get up at 5 a.m., you may not want to go outside, but you can look outside the window. You can look at your plants. I water so many plants in this house, and I talk to them. I actually speak out loud to my plants and talk to them about our day. And do you guys have enough water? Is the air in here good? Is the sun in here? Are you guys getting enough sunlight? Who doesn't look good today? Who needs to get moved? And I talk to them about my day. Well, today I'm going to make a couple of videos. Today I'm going to call my sister and talk to her about this. This is something I need to take care of. I need to finalize these trip plans. And this is another opportunity to be playful. It's another opportunity to say, it's another opportunity, if you don't want to journal, to set your intention for the day. And you can always say, I want to bring more playfulness into my day. You don't even have to say, I'm going to set aside a time from noon till 1 where I am going to watch Netflix and no one is going to bother me, or I am going to the park and I am walking. Those are gorgeous intentions to be playful. That's wonderful. But sometimes playfulness is about just creating space for the unexpected to occur, creating space to just, have availability with your kids, have availability with your family and your loved ones, your neighbors, your community, or by yourself, to just enjoy and to laugh and to be playful and to be creative. So we can journal in our books. We can also journal by speaking out loud and being part of a magical community as well. That sort of gets us into the right energetic mind frame of balance, gets us into that energetic mind frame of, yes, these are the things I need to get done. I need to show up for my life. And it's just as important to show up for my soul and my spirit and my heart, and to be playful and making that availability. Let me see if there's anything else. So very important. There's so many things. Inviting in a spirit or deity. So if we go back to that space of a morning practice, could be plopping down in front of your altar and just allowing energy to flow, just allowing what's going to happen. A lot of different ways we can sort of invite playfulness in is to cultivate safety security, and stability. And how do we do that? We can um, invite in protection. So every morning I shield and protect. Every single morning I shield and protect. The more work that we do and the more that we're connected with our emotional body, the more open we are to the energy world around us, and not the physical world, because we can see that, we can smell that, we can hear that, but connecting to our our first sense of intuition. As we do this work, we're becoming more aware of what's happening around us. And it is important as we move down this path of spirituality to really invite in um, protection. So I shield and protect with Archangel Michael every day. I actually shield and protect with a group. I create this circle of divine feminine energy around me every single day. And there's lots of different reasons I'm doing that. I'm calling in divine feminine energy to make sure I'm in alignment with my purpose. I'm calling in divine feminine energy for protection. I'm calling in divine feminine energy to stay compassionate and to stay aware. I'm calling in divine feminine energy to make sure that I'm sitting back and listening to things rather than jumping and jumping a lot of different ways that we move into the day intentionally, whether it's journaling, whether it's telling our plants, whether it's engaging in magical communities, is sitting back with our ascended masters, with our deities, with God, with the goddess, with your higher self. Most importantly, you are a sovereign divine being already, so you can work with and to call in the creator to help us um, you know cultivate our lives the way we want to cultivate our lives. So this is another way we can set up our day, is to work with spirit and with deities and to protect ourselves. Protection is so important. It's very important to myself in divine white light. I surround myself in this energy where only love and light may enter and only love and light may leave. And you're creating your own little circle of protection and love every single day. And if you don't know who to reach out to, Archangel Michael is wonderful to reach out to for that, but I'm sure that you may already have your own personal practice. So these are different ways we can move into the day and cultivate a life where playfulness and joy is an available feature. And that is making sure we're not making sure we're mindfully moving into the day, that we're consciously moving into the day, and that we're creating our lives the way we want them to be, and really witnessing the importance of playfulness and joy, and how these are the pieces that we are alive for. We're here to be playful. We're here to be in joy. We're here to fall in love with our lives. We're here to find happiness. And all of the different struggle and what's the word I'm looking for? It's not coming to me, but all the different things that we move through, all of our different experiences, all of our different lessons, these are all opportunities to find ways to just really appreciate and have gratitude for what we actually do have in our lives. So these are all different ways to move into your day, and just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Um, so once we move through our morning practice, there's other pieces of morning practices like taking a shower, blessing the water of your shower, anointing your body. So treating our bodies as if they're sacred. Move through intentionally treating your body like it's sacred. And you would, a sacred vessel demands balance. It demands all the pieces: playfulness, joy, love. So when we treat our body as if it's sacred, and we treat playfulness and joy as if it's sacred, that'll ensure that we have more availability for playfulness and joy. So I think that is all I want to say. I could talk for a long time, but I did want to just hop on and just talk a little bit about playfulness, a little bit about a morning practice, and different ways we can really set the energetic bar, emotional bar, are confident, comfortable, secure, safe, protected, so that we can really let go and be in that energy of playfulness and joy. So, welcome to June, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.